Hi everyone, it's Sue here, and I thought I'd take a few minutes to go over the nursing research course. I know I sent an announcement already, day one, with an error. The final exam is take home, and the documents are all posted. But just in a couple of minutes, I thought I'd talk to you about the things that are due and the focus, and hopefully that will be helpful as we move forward. Okay, just a reminder that the texts and readings are listed in the syllabus, but it's the Nursing Research in Canada text and Reading Research, the associated guide, the APA manual. I'm trying to think. The APA manual you might just need for referencing. So maybe the style guide would be what you need, but you probably already have those. And then additional readings that you'll see in the syllabus and the course at a glance document. Okay, I'm just going to go over these in the next few slides. So this is the Coles Notes version. I don't know if you know what, those are so old. So the quick summary, and then slide by slide, we'll go over them. The course has 2 midterm exams, and that really breaks up the studying into sort of more discrete modules. And then we'll talk a little bit more beyond that. So midterm exam 1, it's multiple choice. It'll be open for a couple of days from February 23rd at 9 a.m. to February 26th at 9 a.m. Not end of the day, February 26th, but 9 a.m. And we'll be using Respondus with that camera feature. Midterm exam 2 will be open again March 23rd, 9 a.m. to March 26th, 9 a.m. Respondus with camera. And both of those are worth 25% of your grades. We've tried to break them up, and the material is quite discrete. So you're going to see that in the next few slides. We also have a little bit of a bonus. So there's a scavenger hunt in the course. If you choose to do it, it's not required. If you choose to do it and you complete it correctly, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I really apologize. Then that is worth 3 marks that you can add to either exam. And we say either exam because what if you got perfect on an exam? You don't want to add 3 marks that aren't going to help you at all. And I know I've got some really fantastic students in this course, so I'm going for the perfects, although we know it's research. So you can add the 3 bonus points to either one of your exams, and they're added to the raw score, not to the weighted score. So if there are 50 questions and you got 42 out of 50, then that would bring it up to 45 out of 50. But if it's worth 25% of your grade, the weighted score would be out of 25, right? So that would become 22.5 out of 25. So it's up to you, and I look forward to looking at those scavenger hunts just to give you a little bit of a bonus. And also I think it helps to really have a sense where you can find things in the course shell. There's also a contribution to the community of learning. It's a very short summary document in terms of the work, the new work that you have to do, just a 2 to 3 page summary that really looks at the posting that you've done through the course. And I'll talk about that in a sec. And also you are to append or attach proof. So you can't just say, I worked really hard, I did a great job. My postings always brought in literature. I really made sure that everyone's voice was heard. When you make those statements, you actually post in an appendix, or you add in an appendix. An appendix just says Appendix A, and it has the material copied and pasted. They're evidence that you did that. And so that's just a helpful way for you as you reflect on it to make sure that there is evidence that not only was it your intention to do that, but that you actually did that. I read every one of the posts. I'm not going to respond to all the posts, but I read every one of the posts. But the work of this, adding the appendices, is really as you reflect on the quality of your contributions and your work supporting your own learning and everyone else's learning throughout the course. There are 4 different times that you will post as a small group, and 4 different times that you'll respond individually. And I'll talk about that in the next few slides, but there are the dates. And then this should be a bigger bullet, but it's a small one buried here. The final exam, where 30% is a take-home exam. And it'll be a different format. You'll hear about it. In the final week of the course, we'll provide it to you, and you'll have a date to return it by. Okay, so let's talk about the contribution to the community of learning. Remember, I said it's based on those 4 small group posts that are what are called a synthesis post. and then 4 times you do an individual response. So as you're all assigned to small teams, and within your team, your job is to work together to create a post. So we could have all of you, all 50 of you, individually posting all the time in response to questions. But part of the goal in working and learning together online is to actually support each other. And what we found in the past is most effective is if we actually break the assignment, the work down into small group works, small group work, and then have the small groups come up with a posting together and post that for the large group. So instead of 50 individual postings, I think in our class we'll have 12 group postings. And then the following week, there's a lot of responses. But just really, I think it keeps the chaos down. And also when you're working in a small group, you come to know each other better, rely on each other better, keep each other accountable, all those kinds of things. So there's 4 different dates. You'll see that in the course at a glance and in the syllabus, where you are required to respond to a question. You've got all of the posting materials already for you with the rubrics document, so you can see what the questions are. And we have kept it to one particular theme through the research course, applying the topics that we're going through week by week for the posting weeks, but looking at a topic from different angles. And because we're right still in the thick of things, we're really going to be looking at COVID and from a whole bunch of different angles, applying what we're doing specifically in that week for COVID, in that week of research as we look at the COVID topic. That summary is due April 4th, so week 11, a couple of pages long, 2 to 3 pages, but the appendices attach, and they are the substance that provides evidence for what you're saying. Some students sometimes feel a little frustrated and say, do I have to copy and paste everything I've posted in the course? You don't. Not everything adds value. Your goal is to provide evidence for the work that you have done within the course. So if that's up to you, you know, if you wanted to hand me a 50-page document with everything you've ever done, it's not more valuable than highlighting the most important things that you've done or evidence of meeting those expectations. The rubric focuses on enacting leadership, enacting followership, utilizing the literature, both in those synthesis posts, like the small group posts and your response posts, and really substantive engagement in those individual response posts. And there's a description in your course outline for what is a substantive post, and in the rubric for the contribution to the community of learning. I'm so sorry, it's 4:30 in the morning, so I'm a little bit less articulate than I'd like to be. And I know you'll forgive me, because aren't we all feeling just a little bit frazzled as the new term begins? And I shouldn't say that, but it does feel like there's a whole lot going on in our lives and in the world. And I really appreciate that for you and for myself. So I know we can all hang together. And I know this, I'm going to use this expression a lot. I know you've got this, right? I know you've got this. So we're going to get through the term well. Probably lots of questions to follow, but we're going to get through this term well. Okay, so let's carry on. So here's an example of a synthesis posting, and this is the first one you'll have to do. So it happens in week 3, and that first synthesis posting is really based on what you've done in week 1 to 3. You've read Introduction to Research, you've looked at evidence and evidence-based nursing practice, you've looked at how to create a question, hypotheses, and how that can apply in a clinical setting, or creating a clinical question. Now, in week 1 or 2, your team is getting together, your small group. It's really important. You're going to decide when you're going to lead and when you're going to work with the leader for the group. So depending on the number of members in your team, remember there's 4 posts. If you have a 4-member team, each one of you selects one of the posting weeks and now at this point, and determines what week you're going to be the leader in. Let's say you have a group of 5. So one of the weeks, 2 of you can share the leadership role, and because you're all being evaluated in the same way, the week that you have 2 of you sharing the leadership role, it would be valuable to really bump up the work of that leadership role in that week to show that 2 of you have done it. What we're asking is to put the following format for the title of your post. So your group number, let's say group number 8, and then the title of your post. It's important that when we're doing a synthesis, so you've got your 4 group members, you've got a leader, the leader says, okay, our post is due, you know, this Sunday night at midnight. By, I don't know, Friday at 9 a.m., could all of the members provide their input into this question, respond to the question? It's really important that if you're putting everyone's name on the post, that everyone has contributed. If you have a member who did not contribute that week, then that member cannot get credit for being part of that synthesis post. So you've got the leader. The leader is asking everybody to provide their input by a certain date. And everybody is going to work on a question in a different way, right? So you're looking at the question in question. The question for the synthesis 1 is that you're just a little scenario. It's busy. You're working your 4th 12-hour shift. You sit down just in the library, although the libraries are probably closed, to pass a few minutes in quiet, and you see an old newspaper. And there is an article in that newspaper. And the article is one from a while ago that looked at access to PPE during the pandemic. And it would be interesting to know if you guys are still struggling with access to PPE during the pandemic. Anyways, reflecting on what you're reading and the questions and other things, it's important that your group then come to some understanding of how you're going to look at this article and how you're going to determine what is a good question in terms of how you would want to research something further. So read the article, see what's of interest, what elements are of interest, and then undertake the following steps. Determine your focus. So what are you looking at? Identify at least 3 areas of interest that come to mind, and write a short summary of what questions begin to emerge for you for those 3 areas. So what kinds of things are emerging based on those 3 areas? Now you have to read the article first, and then you're going to frame each of your areas of interest in PICO format. Now I'm not going to go into that now because we're going to go into that by week 3. So carry on week by week, and that will make sense to you by then. And then you're going to provide a brief rationale why you think those areas of interest, those that you've formatted using that PICO research question method, why they are most important for your own professional and your own personal experiences. Okay, so you're going to do that 4 times in the term. You're going to rotate through who is the leader. The leader is going to not just copy and paste everyone's answer together, but you're going to pull answers together. So it might be that sometimes you'll be saying something like, within our team, there was a common experience of blah, 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 or there was a common interest in something. Or you might say some members of our team felt this and other members of our team felt that. So there is a difference. It's important in your synthesis that you reflect everyone's voice. And that doesn't mean it has to be common, but you have to find a way to share if they're, the majority of members felt a certain way or had experienced a certain thing, whereas some members described something else. So really important that you bring together everyone's viewpoint. And again, it's hard to talk about these things till you've done them, but many of you have taken the nursing theory course online where you've used this method as well. Okay, so a reminder about the exams. Midterm exam 1 is on modules 1 to 5. So discrete modules 1 to 5 worth 25%. It's open February 23rd, 9 a.m. to February 26th, 9 a.m. And we're going to use Respondus with camera. Oh, look, I say midterm 1 again, but it's midterm 2, multiple choice exam, 25%. Now we're on modules 6 to 10, and that's nice. It's not cumulative at this point. It's open March 23rd at 9 a.m. to March 26th at 9 a.m. and we're using Respondus with camera. And then finally for the take home, there's going to be an exam. It's not a, obviously not a multiple choice exam, but it's a little bit of a creative opportunity, creative within the context of research. So it's an assignment that you'll do using a common research approach. And we will provide you that in week 12, and we will give you a date for submission for that exam. Okay, just a real summary here of what you might want to look for in Blackboard. Find the syllabus, find the course at a glance. Everybody does things differently, but I find this really helpful because it lists for you week by week. What are the readings, what's assigned, how much it's worth, what day it's due, and that really helps you to track where you're at. There's a resource folder. I have not started to load to that, and I apologize, but I'll load their PowerPoints. And if I'm able to record any video lectures, I would record there as well. So look for the resources folder. There's the full description for the assignment. That's the contribution to the community of learning. Make sure you find your small group. You want to get into that small group. You want to say hi to everybody. And you want to start that discussion of who's going to lead for each of the weeks. And you've got those dates. Great place to remind yourself, other than this PowerPoint, is all, or the syllabus, is also that course at a glance stuff that I like. Make sure you find that large group discussion board and say hello, and let me know, you know, what's the best thing that could happen in this course. Best thing for me is that you love it. You learn that you love research. You learn that research is just fundamental to nursing. Worst thing is that you struggle through the course, you feeling disconnected, or God, heaven forbid, you find it boring. Oh my gosh, nursing research is so incredible. But if that's the case, we'll rev it up as we move our way through. And then finally, just a reminder, the bonus scavenger hunt is due at the end of the day on this Sunday, January 17th. So end of the day, January 17th. Okay, that's it. So instead of sharing all about me at the beginning, I'm going to share all about me at the end. So I just want to say really personally, hello to all of you. I know so many of you are working so hard right now. Although I look so old, sadly, I am the mother of 2 young kids. So I've got a grade 5 and a junior kindergarten daughter, both now in school online at home. And it's a rough go. How about you guys? I bet many of you are working multiple shifts, maybe have kids at home like me, have a variety of obligations. I don't know if any of you are doing clinical or anything else. So we're all handling a lot. One of the things I'd like to say is really be kind to yourself. That doesn't mean you don't have obligations. I know that. But try not to beat yourself up. I'm here to help for sure. Send me an email anytime if you want to talk by phone, by other, video conferencing technology. I am always around and always available. My goal is to really support you to do the very best you can do in this course. Sometimes the very best is an A+ and you're just sailing. Sometimes the very best you can do in a course is a B or B- or C. And you say, you know what, I did my very best and it was heroic. You can make those choices. You don't have to beat yourself up about everything, what it takes to get through. My job is to help you in any way I can to get through in whatever way you can. So if it's soaring, that's fantastic. If you say, I'm just gonna do the best I can with what I've got, and I'm happy to walk away with a B or B+ or whatever, then I'm also here to support you in that. I know all of us are really experiencing just circumstances that we have never anticipated in the past, and we're just gonna have to work our way not only through the course, but through life as we go through the next few months. Please keep in touch. Please know I'm always here. About me, you've heard I've got some young kids. I love to teach nursing. It's a dream to be able to talk about nursing. I am an emergency nurse by clinical profession and love it. But I haven't done that for many years and it breaks my heart. There's not a day goes by that I don't sometimes look around and say, I wonder if anybody in the Walmart would like to have a seizure so I could run over and help. That's a terrible thing to say, but kind of not really, because once you've got that clinical passion, boy, it just rests in your heart, doesn't it? I love nursing research because I see the utility in it, because for me, research has many functions. I'd highlight 2 that matter to me. One is I really love change projects. I like projects that make the world better for people living in it. And research helps us to know the kinds of changes that may be necessary and also to evaluate the effect of those changes. And so for me, that's just really important. Are we doing the right thing? Are we helping people in a way that makes their lives better? Research also helps us to understand the experiences of people, to hear their voices. And there's nothing more important, I think, in this world than being seen and being heard. And we do that in clinical every day, right? Our patients are not just numbers and all the same. We try to really see and hear all of our patients. The same with nursing research. Nursing research is another tool in a different way to enable us to see and hear people in the world. And so for me, I just really love that aspect. Okay, I think I'm done. I sure hope that we have an opportunity to get to know each other better through the course as we move our way through. Please let me know what I can do to be supportive. Just a little note for those of you who may want to use WhatsApp or other kinds of things for your course discussions, your small group discussions. Remember, when I'm asking for evidence, you're going to have to find proof. If you can do screenshots or whatever, that's totally fine. So you make it work for you, but keeping in mind that if you work in your small group, it's easy for you to cut and paste the work that you've done. If you're working in some other medium, then you're going to have to figure out how you do that. Anyways, enough for today. I'm going to post this. There are 2 sections to the course. This is an overview of my section, but Charles Anyanam is a fantastic professor who teaches the other section at the same time. We will work very closely together and really have worked together for 15 years. Love teaching together. The courses will be run similarly so that I think there's less, there shouldn't be any confusion among the different students between groups. We'll also share resources so that both sections should have access to the same resources. Okay, enough of me. I could talk and talk, but I'm sure all of you have lots to do. So I look forward to seeing you in Blackboard, and have a fantastic day.